Hey guys, Jim Chester coming to you from New Beginnings. We're in Red Bank, New Jersey. I have the privilege of having Shawn Dill here. You just got off stage. You ripped it, man.
Thank you so much. Awesome to be with you and all of your raving fans, all of the fans of The Hustle. Super excited to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what you did, what you talked about on your 20 Minutes of Fame up there at the New Beginnings.
Well, this is my first time speaking at New Beginnings, so I got the first slot on the first day. I'm not used to that, so I don't really know how to do that. I had to call my buddy Liam Schubel. He's usually, the guy that opens up, the guy that gets the crappy time slots. He told me to talk about his book, but I didn't think that would be very appropriate. People that have read the book, they could take it or leave it. Just kidding, though. You should get the book, Has to Be Chiropractors. We just spoke about chiropractic, right? We spoke about the price that people have paid for us to be chiropractors. I think sometimes we take that for granted, that we're just like, hey, I'm a chiropractor, especially students, right? Like, people owe me something. Really, we owe a lot because, it's not easy to pay for this. It's not easy to develop this. We talked about the people that created the laws in our states. Like, that's not an easy thing. Like, we forget. Like, we think that, when the Constitution was written, that they included chiropractic in that, right? And so, listen, as late as 1971, that was the year I was born, not all of the states had legislation. Can you imagine that, right? So in this country, people were practicing in states that did not have legislation when I was born. So, I mean, it's not that recent, right? And so we take that for granted, and getting that was not easy, right? Getting that stuff done. And so every day as a chiropractor, when we wake up, we have a responsibility, right? We're still paying back that debt. Families that paid prices, individuals whose relationships might have been ruptured or suffered because of that, because they were sacrificing. And then I talked about, what about on a personal level, right? So like your spouse, your parents, your siblings, people that supported you when you were just getting started. Or maybe you're still in school, right? And people are supporting you, buying you dinner here and there. Those are all little tiny micro debts that get repaid back. And not because you go back and buy that person dinner, but because you excel, because you serve, because you find success and you're able to reach more people. The reason why they're doing that is because they've bought into your vision. They've bought into your dream, and they want to help you to get there. But to get across that finish line, to become a chiropractor and then decide to be a nurse, or then decide to wait tables, or I don't want this, that's really not honoring to all of the sacrifices that people made to get you to that finish line. I think that you should determine that early on, right? First quarter, first trimester, if you're not going to be a chiropractor, figure that out then, so that you don't really cause these people to have to suffer, not suffer because they're doing it from a place of joy, but your sacrifice, right? And, for your cause, and then at the end say, just kidding, right? And so I talked about the responsibility that each one of us carries to be successful, to reach a lot of people, to go out in the world and really make a difference.
So tell me a little bit about what it means for you to be here for your first time at the New Beginnings chiropractic deal. I know this has been going on since for 30 years or so, and to be invited into this New Beginnings family, how does that feel?
Oh, it's super awesome. Listen, I love to be a part of anything chiropractic, right? I mean, on a Friday, what would I rather be doing? Mowing the yard, or being here with people that share this passion. We were talking earlier, before the live too. I think it's interesting in chiropractic. I think that we need to, I don't know if you necessarily find a way to end the divides, right? Like, that's not very realistic. That's like saying we need to make the Republicans and the Democrats be one. But we need to find a way that we can respect the commonalities, right? So, if we're both in politics, and you're a Republican, I'm a Democrat, we understand that we're trying to then progress our constituents, the population that elected us. And for us as chiropractors, I think that everybody is trying to, serve humanity. They're trying to reach more people. They're doing it in different ways. And, so many times we get so hung up on the form. And so, this was my first time here, but listen, it's New Beginnings Chiropractic. I mean, if it's chiropractic, I mean, I feel like I'm going to fit in, right? If it's New Beginnings Physical Therapy, then I'd probably be sort of an outcast, an outsider, right? But as long as we're talking chiropractic, wherever chiropractic is being spoken, I love to be there.
Yeah, and I had a chance to come out here for the first time too, and I really want to say a quick shout out to Jim Dubell for having both of us here, for highlighting Shawn Dill because he's such a leader in the profession. I honestly, you did that for me. What you first started talking about is you sat and did an interview for us for our first film, and that changed the course of the trajectory of my professionalism within chiropractic. So I just want to say thank you for that too. And if you guys haven't seen it, it's Chiropractic the documentary. Check it out, Amazon Prime, iTunes, Google Play Store. But you know, when it comes to the chiropractic principle, I know that you have fought very hard to create a team of principle-based chiropractors out there at the Art of the Specific. And I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to talk a little bit about your team and what you're doing for the chiropractic profession.
Well, listen, I think that we need to be well-versed, right, in philosophy, science, and art. You know, philosophy, I support Sherman. I encourage people to get into the green books, not just seminars. It's not enough. You can't go twice, 3 times, 4 times a year and sit for a weekend and be like, I got my philosophy. You need to read the green books. For the science, I support ASRF. I'm super excited about the research agenda. A lot of really cool things are going to be coming out in the future for, you know, the science side, research, validating what it is that we do. I kind of think that's something that's time has come. It's overdue. And then lastly, the art. You know, we teach the art of the specific. I'm a big believer that there is no one right way to do anything. So, I mean, there's all kinds of techniques. The art of the specific is the knee chest, solid headpiece, upper cervical specific technique that we teach. We go all around the world to teach this. We're going to be in Australia coming up. Super excited because we have 22 FLA hours. Basically, for the Americans, that would be like continuing ed hours. So that means if you're in Australia watching this, I know you have fans over there as well, you can get your whole year's worth of FLAs in one weekend with us. And it's not common that you'll see a lot of real chiropractic, science, art, and philosophy things getting FLA approval. And so we're really excited that this gives those people that want to grow chiropractically an opportunity to come and spend the weekend with us and learn about upper cervical. You know, basically the technique, you know, looking at the top 2 bones of the neck, the relationship between those 2 bones and the neurology. And I got to tell you, you know, both of us, I see you all over the places. We travel the world talking about chiropractic. I've never met anybody, never met a chiropractor who tells me upper cervical, nothing to it. Like every chiropractor, regardless of how you practice, understands the importance of that area of the spine. And so regardless of how you practice, the art of the specific is really not about just teaching you how to do a technique, but helping you to have a better grasp of the analysis, the neurology, what's going on there, and how you might approach your adjustment itself, right? And so I encourage you to check that out, regardless of how you're practicing. If you think the upper cervical spine is important, then that's the place for you.
And that's just it. And I just want to shine a little bit more light on your team because I've had a chance to meet some of the people that are artist-specific chiropractic office. They run the office. They're the leaders. And how many of those do you have running?
Oh, so the offices are called the Specific Chiropractic Centers. Okay. The Art of the Specific is a technique that we teach them. Currently 18 offices. We have a couple more that are in the works. We'll launch them first quarter of next year. We'll get us to 20 at that point. Looking to expand internationally, so we'll be starting that process. And yeah, I got to tell you, the people that run those offices, absolute all-stars, right? Just, you know, I get to come to these and speak because they're back in the office. They're, you know, checking people, reaching their communities. That's what allows me or affords me this opportunity. But really, they're the ones that are there, like, making the biggest impact. I'm just the one that gets to come on the Facebook Live with you because we couldn't fit them all in the screen.
And last question, what was the vision behind that? Why did you start that group, and what was like the cornerstone for you to decide that that was the right angle for you to help more chiropractors become successful?
Well, you know, the story goes back where I learned chiropractic from Michael Kale back when I was at Logan in the 1990s, early 1990s. And the second thing is I realized that almost every chiropractic miracle story, so as I sat in seminars like this, every chiropractic miracle story always involved adjusting the upper cervical spine. And what I said is, I just want to see miracles. Like, I don't want to mess around with, you know, my knee hurts. Like, why don't we just only see miracles? And so I began to dedicate myself to perfecting that art, right? That's what I wanted to do. I began to study. I began to get around mentors. Then moved to Costa Rica, where I sort of isolated myself. And I just was there and seeing what this technique can do on a daily basis, and, you know, having my mind blown as a young chiropractor, like, about what's possible. And so now we want to share that. And so the vision with the specific really is giving everybody, hopefully in the world, the opportunity to be checked for nervous system interference caused by vertebral subluxation. It's not about getting every person under our care, because I don't care where they go, but I want people to have the ability to get checked. And so we have to create an awareness of the importance of that, and then we have to give them the ability to be checked, to find out whether or not they have nervous system interference. One of the things I think chiropractors do is they skip the check part and they go right to getting adjusted, right? And then that's where it gets tough, because we're trying to create access for everybody to get adjusted versus access for everybody to get checked. It would be easier if we did that. And so that's what the vision is behind that. I also want to say before we go, the first time that I met you is a great example of that, right? So I had just come off of the stage at ChiroFest, just like today, just got done, and then came out and you had your whole setup and you were like, hey, can I interview you for this thing? And I didn't even know what it was. I was like, hey, well, if it's chiropractic, because I think at the time it wasn't called Chiropractic, the documentary.
It was called Adjusted.
Called Adjusted. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And so we just sat down and we began to talk, and you were filming, and then I got to see after the fact, like, what you created. Like, I had no idea even what you were making. And so, I mean, man, that's awesome too that you were doing that. And then fast forward to today, where everybody in the profession knows who you are, appreciates the work that you're doing. I mean, so in a short period of time, right, we're able to see, and you're able to see. So if you're starting in practice, you know, if you have a vision, if you have a plan, and you set your mind to it, look what Jim's been able to do. You can do that very same thing with whatever your vision is.
Thank you, Shawn. And we're going to close out here, but I'm going to be coming live from Red Bank, New Jersey at New Beginnings all weekend long. So if you guys are interested in learning more about these amazing speakers that we have out here, like Dr. Shawn Dill here with the Art of the Specific, and with what he's doing with, we didn't even touch on the Black Diamond Club, but that's something else you guys should check out. BDC, is it BDC.com?
BlackDiamondClub.com.
Yeah, so check out blackdiamondclub.com too. And if you guys haven't made it to New Beginnings, I know it happens 3 times a year, and it's been happening over 30 years. And if you guys want to hear from some of the guardsmen of this profession, I'm going to be introducing you guys to some of these amazing people that have been leading the New Beginnings front for a long time. So stay with me over the weekend. Love and appreciate every single one of you. And just like Shawn said, if you guys want to make a momentum and make movement in this world, start today. And don't you know, if you want to do something great and brilliant, you just got to take your momentum and energy and build that.
Absolutely.
So cheers, guys. Thank you so much.